Hi, Astrid. Good evening. Astrid, are you there?
Hi, teacher. Good evening.
Hi, how was
Sorry for
everything?
being on. It's
Don't worry.
fine.
Okay, how was your day?
My day was great. Thank you, teacher. How about you?
Everything was great, thank you. It was a great day. It was a quiet day. Thank you for asking.
Oh,
So, okay, so we're gonna start with today's classes. Can you please help me to remember until what part we stopped?
uh,
Okay, let me check.
yesterday we talked about the future science courses.
All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna look for it. Where is it? Okay, give me a second. Oh yes, okay. We talk about future time class. Oh no.
Yes, teacher.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So the homework and the quiz is already assigned. Okay.
Yes, we did.
I'm sorry.
We did the exercises yesterday.
Yes, but I already assigned the homework of B1, right?
Yes.
Okay. So all right, let's start with today's lesson. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Once you can see it, please let me know. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, teacher. I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. So today's lesson is about the simple past and past continuous. We don't have a new time tense, right? But we're gonna see a combination of some time tenses, right? In this case, about the simple past and past continuous and the use of when. So let's listen to this audio first.
Hi, it's Emily. You know, I thought about Talia when I left for school this morning. In fact, I was still thinking about her when I got to school. I just used examples of the past with when and the past continuous with when. Let's learn more about those kinds of sentences.
Okay, so we have I thought about Talia when I left for school, and the past continuous. I was thinking about her when I got to school. So there is a subtle difference between them. So first of all, we're gonna review what is the past continuous and in what way is it related with the simple past. So we have two actions: past continuous and simple past. So let's listen.
We use the past continuous to talk about an action that was in progress at a specific time in the past. When we use the past continuous, we aren't interested in when the activity ended.
It was 6 o'clock. I was sitting in the student lounge.
We use the simple past to talk about another action that interrupts that action.
I was sitting in the student lounge when a woman came up to me.
In the example, first Jackie sat down in the student lounge. Then a woman came up to her.
Okay, so let's talk about it. We know that we are going to use a simple past in order to talk about actions, and an action that was in progress at a specific time in the past. Okay, when we have all the continuously forms or whatever time tense, right? Past continuous, present continuous. We focus on the duration of an action. We're not interested in when the activity ended, right? For example, I was sitting in the student lounge until 7 p.m. No, we actually didn't do it, right? So something that we do is to focus on the duration of an action. Okay, in this case, the past continuous is an action that started in the past and has finished. Okay, or just finished in some cases, right? So, and nowadays it has a consequence in the present. Okay, all right. In some cases, could be right. So it was 6 p.m. and I was sitting. Okay, so how could be this structure, this meaning understood? I was sitting. Okay, so I started at 6 p.m. right, and I was sitting. Okay, at some time in the past I finished the action, but I'm not interested in when did I end, right, or when I ended. But this action is in progress that I was sitting. Okay, now let's continue with the simple past. This is a combination, right? As you can see, I was sitting, so I'm using the past continuous. I was sitting in the student lounge. Okay, so let's see our timeline. So we're talking about the past. I was sitting, then a woman came up to me. Then, right? Can you see this line, this X, right? So the simple past is the action that is gonna interrupt another action. This another action is called past continuous. So I was sitting, but then something happened. I have an interrupted action, and a woman came up to me. When a woman came up to me. So first, Jackie sat down. Okay, this is my first action. Then this is my second action, and it is called the interrupted action. The interrupted action, I'm gonna conjugate it into the simple past. Okay, so to show the action that started first, I'm gonna use the past continuous. And if for any reason another action is gonna enter my principal action, I'm gonna conjugate it into the simple past. So this is a combination. As you can see, I was sitting in the student lounge when, okay, then a woman came up to me. So this is that is my interrupted action. Okay, do you get it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. So let's continue with point number 2.
We use when to introduce the simple past action.
Amy and I were talking when a friend of hers showed up.
In this example, first Amy and Jackie started talking. Then Amy's friend showed up.
Okay, so we have the use of when. I'm going to use when to show the interrupted action, to introduce the interrupted action, that action that is in simple past. Amy and I were talking. Okay, so this is the action that was in past continuous. Sorry, we were talking. Then something happened. A friend of hers showed up. So this is my interrupted action. And my action is stop until this part. Okay, so first they were talking, then a friend of hers showed up. To introduce the interrupted action, we're gonna use when. And I'm gonna use the simple past. Okay, do you get it?
Yes, teacher, it's good.
All right, thank you. Is there any question maybe until this point? Or not really? There's no
No.
questions.
No.
Okay, thank you. So let's continue with the, oh, I guess that's, oh no, okay. So let's continue with point number 3.
When both clauses are in the simple past, the meaning is very different. Notice the difference in these two examples. When Jackie arrived at Valentino's, Nick and Talia looked at their menus. In this example, first Jackie arrived at Valentino's. Then Nick and Talia looked at their menus.
When Jackie arrived at Valentino's, Nick and Talia were looking at their menus.
Okay,
In this example, Nick and Talia were looking at their menus. Then Jackie arrived at Valentino's.
okay, so let's continue with this point. All right, as you can see at the beginning, the coach explained us, showed us some examples, right? About how about if I have 2 clauses and both clauses are in simple past? For example, when Jackie arrived at Valentino's, Nick and Talia looked at their menus. So what does it mean? First, Jackie arrived at Valentino's, then they looked at Nick and Talia looked at their menus. So as you can see, this has a different meaning from this one. Where is the difference? If I'm gonna place the 2 clauses, first clause, second clause, into the simple past, there is no interrupted action. I don't have any action. They're interrupted another one. So I'm talking about an action consequently. Okay. So first they arrived, okay, and then another action happened. They looked at their menus. So I don't have something that is interrupting my first action. How about the second one? When Jackie arrived at Valentino's, Nick and Talia were looking at their menus. So what does it mean that they were looking at their menus? Then something happened. Another action interrupt my first action. So first they were looking at their menus, then Jackie arrived. Okay, so it is a interrupted action. Okay, so as you can see, we have 2 different meanings. You can use both, depends on the situation, of course, right? If you want to talk about 2 actions that happened consequently, you are able to use the first structure, the 2 clauses in the simple past. But if you want to express that you were doing something, but then another action interrupted your first action, then you are able to choose the second structure, the simple past form and the continuously from the past continuous and the simple past. In both options, in both examples, sorry, we're using when, right? So that is the big difference. So you have to take care in that part. In the first one, in both clauses, I'm using the simple past. There is no interrupted action. And the second one, yes, I have an interrupted action. Okay, do you get it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. So let's continue with the last point.
The part of the sentence that begins with when is called a time clause. The time clause can come at the beginning or the end of the sentence. The meaning is the same. When Jackie asked about Byron Walters, Dean seemed surprised. Or, Dean seemed surprised when Jackie asked about Byron Walters. When the time clause comes first, we put a comma after it. When the main clause comes first, we don't use a comma between the 2 clauses.
Okay, this only applies when in writing, okay? In speaking, we're not gonna notice if there is a comma or not. This only applies in writing. When we write, when writing, we have the option to place the interrupted action at the beginning or at the end. Okay. When Jackie asked about Byron Walters, didn't seem surprised. So there is no interrupted action. Okay. So we're talking about an action, two actions in the past that happened consequently. First happened one and it has finished, then happened the second action and it has finished. Okay, there is no interruption. Okay, so you can begin with this structure. The structure that is gonna contain the when, right? The word when. It is called the time clause. Okay, and this is the main clause, right? Time clause and main clause. Okay, so when Jackie asked about Byron Walters, didn't seem surprised. So this is my first action. When I'm gonna talk about the first action, I'm gonna use when. Then in writing, I'm gonna use a comma if I'm gonna place the time clause at the beginning, or what happened if I want to place it at the end. So there is no necessity to use the comma. So when Jackie asked about Byron Walters' first action, it starts with when, and it is called time clause. Didn't seem surprised. Main clause. Main clause didn't seem surprised. The time clause, the first action, when Jackie asked about Byron Walters. As you can see, there is no interrupted action or something like that. So again, when we're going to talk about a sequence, right? We are gonna start with when if the action happened first. So yes, that will be everything about this last point. I don't know if you have any question, maybe.
It's clear, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, so that's all. That's all about the lesson. It was a short one. So if you don't have any question, okay, I'm going to give you 7 minutes, right? In order to explain me the whole lesson. I'm going to be your student and you're going to be my teacher, right? But I don't know if you want to use the same examples, right? But we're going to work in Google Docs. So you're going to choose whatever examples you want, and you're going to write in the Google Doc. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to share it with you. And I'm going to send the link to our meeting chat. Just wait for a second. And okay, there you have the link. Okay, so can you please open it? And you are not available to write. So you are going to ask for a permission or a request. And I'm gonna assign it, right? I'm gonna accept it. I mean, so once you send me, just let me know. Okay, I just got it. All right, so I already shared with you. Can you please refresh the page and try to open one time? And okay. Okay, yes, you are here, right? So I'm gonna give you 7 minutes, right? to prepare your own exam. It's okay if you only write examples and then in your speech you're gonna prepare a part, I could imagine. So do you get it? Is instruction clear?
And teacher, I'm going to explain about all the rules.
All the lesson, right?
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, but can I see the screen? The of the
Okay,
lesson?
I'm going to show you as a short review because I want to see how you get it, right? So that's the point of this, okay? Okay. Oh no, it's not this one, so let's see. Okay. All right, there you have it, okay?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, can I continue?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, I'm going to show you point number 2. And I'm going to continue with number 3. I'm going to stop until this part. Okay, do you get it?
Can I see the number 2, please?
Okay, there you have it. The use of when.
Okay, teacher. Okay.
Okay, so from now you're going to have 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm going to give you 7 minutes, right? And you're gonna be available to explain the lesson as you prefer, right? There is no any rule, but you have to show me examples, right? And okay, so you may start, please. I'll be back in 1 minute, okay? Go ahead. Okay, you did great. Okay, how's everything, Astrid?
I'm doing my examples, teacher. Sorry.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, you have 1 more minute, please, to finish.
No, I am thinking on my sentences.
Okay, so let's think. Maybe you could start saying, write that an action in past continuous. I was driving, for example, when a car, what else? When a car stopped in front of me, for example. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you 4 minutes more, please, because we need to continue, right?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay, you have 2 minutes more. Okay, you have 1 more minute, please. Okay, as for this time, we can continue. We have to continue, right? So can you please explain me the lesson of today?
Okay, teacher. We use simple past and past continuous. For example, we can notice the past continuous, when to use past continuous, because the sentence starts with the word when. For example, in the second rule, in the third rule, if I say when they sang in the stadium, the people were crying. But if I change the order, the main will change too. For example, when people cried, they were singing. Well, the first sentence that I wrote was I don't know words. Okay. She was cooking when the mobile phone rang. I use or this rule is about that one action could interrupt other action.
Yes. What else?
In the second option, I don't remember very well. In the second rule,
Okay, so all right. When do I have to use? It's not clear for me. When do I have to use this time tenses? The past continuous with the simple past to show what?
For example, when I am doing something and maybe another action could happen and interrupt the touch.
Okay, when I was doing something, don't forget that it's in the past. So we're gonna use this combination of these sentences, of these 2 sentences to talk about the past. First of all, don't forget, and to show that I was doing something or an action was in progress. and another action interrupts the first action. Okay, so what is my first action in this sentence? What is the first action? And she was cooking when the mobile phone rang.
That she was cooking.
Okay, she was cooking. Right. So this was in progress, and then another action interrupt the first action. Okay. Now, when do we have to use? For example, if I'm gonna say, she went to the when she went to the party. When she went to the party, Daniela. Oh, Daniela left. Oh, Daniel left the party. Okay, when am I gonna use this structure, these two clauses in the simple past? To show what?
When the two actions are in the simple past.
Of course, two actions are already in the past, but when do we have to use it? When do I have to use the both sentences in the past? When I want to show a consequence in two actions that happened in the past. Do you get it? So I don't have any interrupted action, right? As in the first example. So what does it mean? So first, Danielle left the party when she went to the party, right? So to show the consequence, right? Please don't forget to show the consequence of two actions. We're going to use the simple past in the two clauses. All right, to express no, to show uninterrupted, no. To show, yes, to show two actions. That started in the past, but I have one that had interrupted the first action. Oh my goodness. I'm going to use the first structure. Do you get it? Interrupted the first action. To show two actions that started in the past, I have one that interrupted the first action. Okay? Do you get it, Astrid?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so all right. So can you please explain me one more time? When do we have to use the first structure? And when do I have to use the second structure?
The first action. Well,
Structure, the first structure. When do I have to use past continuous with simple past?
when I have a progress option and then another action interrupt the progress action.
Okay, that's all. That's all. Okay, when do I have to use the third example. I mean, two actions that are in the simple past tense. To show what?
When we have two situations that happened at the same time.
No, not at the same time. Not at the same time. When one action happened first and the action finished, and then the second action started and finished. Utilizamos la tercera estructura, no para hablar de dos acciones que han empezado al mismo tiempo o que están pasando al mismo tiempo. Estamos hablando de la consecuencia de dos acciones. Es decir, primero pasó algo y luego pasó otra cosa. No tengo acción interrumpida. Ninguna acción interrumpe la otra. Okay? Do you get it, Astrid?
Yes, it's clear now.
Okay, thank you, Astrid. So I'm gonna bring you, we're gonna practice tomorrow, the examples, no, the practice we have in person. So pay attention to it, right? Wait for it. So because it's time, we're gonna finish the class. I'm going to launch the poll, the first poll, right? I have another poll for you. So when it's done, the first one, let me know, please.
Okay, it's done, teacher.
Okay, thank you. So give me a second. And all right, so now you can see the second poll. And once it's finished, just let me know, right?
Yes, it's finished. I finished.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Astrid. Thank you for your
Okay.
attention and have a great night. I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, teacher, and see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.